We have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action, approval of minutes of the meeting held on May 1st, 2024.
I've reviewed the minutes and had no corrections, so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Any further comments on the minutes? There being none, we have a motion to approve the minutes of May 1, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Commission Policy 12, Predator Fee for Habitat Research and Management. The commission will review this new policy 12 for the second time and may take action to recommend revising or adopting the policy. It has to do with legislative changes surrounding the $3 big game application fee. Predator fee policy 12 has been drafted solely to address the habitat research and management of non-predatory game species. Do I have a motion to accept this policy?
I'll make a motion to approve Commission Policy number 12 as submitted.
A second.
Who's second that?
Aubrey.
Thank you. You were too loud. Your voice wasn't very loud. Any further discussion of Commission Policy 12? There being none, we have a motion to approve Commission Policy 12, Predator Fee for Habitat Research and Management. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next item. Consideration and possible action, approval for elk damage payment exceeding $10,000. This has to do with damage on the Granite Peak Ranch in White Pine County totaling $13,318 and submitted for reimbursement by Bruce Hubbard, agent for the property. The loss of one site must be limited to $10,000 unless the commission determines that a claimant may be paid more and there is sufficient money to pay him or her. The commission is required to review and approve the payment for elk damage. Do I have a motion to approve the,
I just got a question first. If this is in White Pine County, why do we have it on our agenda? Just
Yeah,
for reference?
because I think we had, the state board has to review it, so we're reviewing it as part of our responsibility to the board.
I gotcha.
Well, it looks like there was, the evaluation was completed numerous times, and it sounds like a very legitimate claim.
Yeah.
And in the past, the commission has approved these type of claims in excess of 10,000. They support a lot of elk on that ranch. I'm not one real in favor of paying compensation, but that is the regulation. And that's probably why we have elk all over the state now, because they can be reimbursed. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the elk damage payment to, the claimant is for in excess of $10,000.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion to approve, for approval for elk damage payment exceeding $10,000. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Heritage Project Extension requests.
Try to get this thing to work here.
I'm looking to see what the items were. There's a number of them from one in 2018. Overland Pass, Pinyon Juniper Thinning, Desert Creek Conservation Easement, Middle Rock Creek Habitat Improvement, Snake Range Aspen Habitat Restoration, Area 10 Mule Deer Migration Corridor, SE Shell Habitat Restoration Project, East Walker River Fish Habitat Enhancement Project, and Wildlife Water Development of Emergency Water Hall. Clint Bentley, where is that one at? I don't say where it's at.
The way I read it is, these are all existing projects that the timeline is being proposed to be extended.
Right.
Yeah,
And in reading through all these, they said, all, the ones I read sound like they're pretty worthwhile projects. I sure have no information that would dispute any of them.
Right.
I sure appreciate the way they're presented to us versus the depredation, the predator management.
Exactly,
request.
where they
It
just
sure-
ask for a blanket
It gives us
amount.
no past history or no real information.
and
And these are pretty well explained.
many of them have had work done on them already,
Yeah.
so, and others haven't even started yet, but at least they're staying on top of extending them. Do you have motion to approve the
Does Carl have any comment on
project
this?
extension request? Any comments? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the extension request.
second?
I second.
Okay, any further discussion of the Heritage Project extension request? There being none, we have a motion to approve Heritage Project extension requests. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Heritage funding reallocation. That's for the reusing unused heritage funds from previously approved projects to other previously approved projects from the same fiscal year.
It just seems to me it makes sense to reallocate the excess funds to these other approved projects. Again, they're all projects that seem to be very very sound type projects.
Yeah, and there doesn't look like there's a lot of, well, there's a few there that have money left over. Do I have a motion for the proposal for funding reallocation?
I make a motion to approve the Heritage Project extension request as submitted.
The funding reallocation.
I'm sorry, yeah, funding reallocation.
Second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion on Heritage and funding reallocation? There being none, we have a motion to approve Heritage funding reallocation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion passed. Next item, consideration of possible Heritage project proposals for fiscal year 2025. Looks like they've been busy with this Heritage program. Hear recommendations and may take action to approve up to $1,840,130.76 for projects submitted for fiscal year 2025 from the annual year project funds. Commission may take action to approve up to $98,548 for projects submitted for fiscal year 2025 from the principal balance for a total of $1,938,679.40. Funds request is listed below and may be approved by the commission. Look like they have quite a few around the state.
Where is the Memory Ranch conservation easement? I can't find any detail on that. Memory Ranch.
Never heard of it before.
It's very well funded wherever it is.
I have a motion to approve project proposals for fiscal year 2025.
I'll make the motion.
I second it.
Okay,
I'll second the motion to approve.
I think Aubrey did, didn't you, Aubrey?
I did, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Thank you. Any further discussion on Heritage project proposals for fiscal year 2025? There being none, we have a motion to approve Heritage project proposals for fiscal year 2025. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item is consideration of possible action biennial small game release plan for fiscal years 2024 and 2025, Amendment 1.
Interesting, they're proposing the Hungarian partridge and the Desitoyas out here. It's, that'd be about the southern range that I know of for the, for Huns. they weren't proposing any American beaver. I don't know why that was on the glossary, or I
Yeah, it says to be
don't
an,
think they're into
to be-
transplanting
to-
beaver
yeah,
now. Maybe
be-
they're, in the future,
to be a net mount, be announced.
just let me know where you turn them loose.
Do I have a motion to accept the biennial small game release plan for fiscal year 2020, 2025, Amendment 1?
I'll make a motion to approve the small game release plan.
Second?
Second.
I second it.
We have a motion to approve biennial small game release plan for fiscal years 2024, 2025, Amendment Number 1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Next one is biennial big game release plan for fiscal year 2024, 2025, Amendment 1. It looks like they want to take 200 animals from thriving herds around the state to those areas where there's been a decline,
And animal-
such in management areas 10, 13, and 16.
Yeah, looks like they want to release 20 to 25 bighorns in Unit 182 also.
Carl, do you know anything about the augmentation in the Stillwaters, the proposed sheep, bighorn sheep? Is this something that, I hadn't heard Jason talk about it, but
Yeah, just put the little icon of them, there you go.
Carl Urquiaga for the record. I know Jason has been talking about that. He and Mike Cox have been talking about doing it. Jason likes to be aggressive and get his sheep back on their feet when they can. They had to die off in there. That's all I know.
no.
Thank you, Carl.
If I could add one more thing, Fallon Chapter and Nevada Bighorns Unlimited supports the idea.
Thanks, Carl.
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
Carl, will you say that louder so Jim can hear what you said?
Sorry.
I just wanted to say that Fallon Chapter NBU supports the idea of
Oh.
augmentation in Stillwaters.
Okay, thank you.
Any further public comment? There being none, need a motion to approve biennial big game release plan for fiscal years 2024, 2025, Amendment Number 1.
I'll make the motion.
I second.
Any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion to approve biennial big game release plan for for fiscal years 2024, 2025, Amendment Number 1. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item is energy and solar projects update.
Yeah. Is that an action item?
It had to have had some kind of, let's see. Let me look here. Recommend board motion to approve, nope, that's duck stamps.
No?
I think, no, it doesn't look like there's any
There really wasn't any supporting information.
on that one.
So I just did it that way in case something came in before the end. But
Yeah, and I hadn't seen
I
anything,
think it's all going to be
Pam.
presented at the meeting there.
Yeah, okay. No action, since there's nothing there, guys?
Yeah, no action. I'd propose.
It's, okay.
Energy and solar projects
Yeah,
update.
presentation will be provided on Bureau of Land Management's solar programmatic environmental impact statement. Discuss possible providing letter of comment on the project as well as overview of renewable energy costs across Nevada. So that there's really nothing there to support that. Okay, we'll take no action. Next item, duck stamp request. Commission will review and take action to approve up to $90,750 for projects submitted for fiscal year 2025, funding from the duck stamp account. Specific duck stamp projects may be approved are listed below. There's one here on Carson Lake Wildlife Management Area, noxious weed treatment.
Yeah.
All the rest, they don't say where actually they are. Argenta Wildlife Management Improvement Project, Ducks Unlimited Wetlands Conservation Support, purchase support for airboat, full life cycle conservation of international migratory waterfowl and other aviation species.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the duck stamp request, the project request.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion to approve the duck stamp request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next one is Upland Game Bird Stamp Request. Commission will review and take action to approve up to $262,230 for projects for 2025 from the Upland Game Bird Stamp account. All the projects are listed there.
Here's that damn raven again.
Studied to death, huh, Jim?
Just
I'll make the motion to accept the proposed upland game bird stamp projects.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion of upland game bird stamp requests? There being none, I have a motion to approve the upland game bird stamp requests. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Next one is Commission Regulation 23-15 Amendment Number 1, Fishing Seasons. Consider amending Commission Regulation 2315 to designate Smith Creek Reservoir as a closed water in Lander County. We had a discussion on that last.
Yeah, we had a discussion and actually
We
disapproved
just,
Yeah.
yes.
that action, and then it did not go for the commission. I'm still think it sets a bad precedent. Part of that reservoir is public, and there's other examples like the problem's been solved, but not correct. Part of that was public, part of it was private, and the owner, Richard Drake, wanted it closed to the public but open to him. Well, you close the water, it's going to be closed to whoever owns Smith Creek now. I guess it's not Hendricks anymore. Even though it's a small part of it has public access, I still contend that you can float on the public waters in Nevada over private land and not being trespassed. It's,
Well, it's just that they're not arguing whether or not you can be
Yes.
there on the public property. They're saying you can't fish it, close the fishing.
that's off of their private property, which is a shoreline. Water in the state of Nevada by the Constitution is never private, never owned. The right to use the water is granted through a water permit, through a water right. But the ownership still stays in the name of the state of Nevada. And let's say the East Walker or the West Walker River is not a navigable water, so therefore the landowner owns the bed of the Walker River. That's never been adjudicated in court like the Carson and Truckee. You have the right to float down the Walker River because you're on public water. The Canvasback Gun Club actually won a case here on whether they needed to register boats. Now that's back when Judge Walters, I think it was the district judge here. And he ruled that no, that's public or that's private water. So therefore, they don't need to register their boats. Well, he happened to be a member of the Canvasback Club too. So that decision was, but there's a lot of examples. Part of Wilson Reservoir up in Elko, that North Shore up by the cabin was private. And years ago, they claimed the whole reservoir was private, and it was closed for a good many years, but then back in the 50s, it was reopened. I think it just sets a precedent. If the state doesn't want to stock it, fine. But I'm not sure the landowner realizes if they close it, it's closed to him too. And those are public fish coming down that creek, so. I again would make a motion to,
Yeah, didn't he mention last meeting that they had actually stocked it as well?
well,
By
they
mistake.
did in the past, but Hendricks was the main stalker. He'd buy private fish out of Bishop and put 5-pound fish in there and then charge fishermen big money to stay out there as a dude ranch. But I'll make a motion to disapprove closing Smith Creek Reservoir to fishing. But it'll go through probably, but
Was there a second?
So I'd second that, but I also just want to make a comment that this is attached to the rest of the fishing seasons as well.
Well, it would go into the new,
Seasons and
as
limits.
January 1, probably. That's the only recommended change. I think they'd already approved. Yeah, this is an amendment.
Yeah. Okay, any further discussion about fishing season regulations for January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2025? There being none, I call for the vote, the motion.
Yeah.
Carl?
Carl or Kiaga, again, for the record. I agree with Mr. Curran.
Oh, you don't have a microphone on, Carl.
I think it's a bad precedent. I don't think it's, well, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know whether it's based on actual law or not, but I think it's the wrong, step in the wrong direction. My employer is Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, and one of our mission is to provide all Americans quality places to hunt and fish, and that is partially accommodated or accomplished by providing access to places to hunt and fish. And this just brings a lot of questions. There's at least half that reservoir when it's full. It's on public land, if I understand. And you can still fish the creek, correct? So as the reservoir goes down, the creek extends. Eventually, you'd be able to fish all the way to the dam. It's a mess, and I think it's in the wrong step in the wrong direction. Also, I assume there's still access on the south side on that rough, nasty road that drops in above the reservoir. But part of the problem is they don't like trespassing, people coming through their yard and all of that. That's not state's jurisdiction, I don't think. I think that's the onus is on the landowner there to post their property, and if that includes buoys across the lake, it's on them, not us. And I understand, but I don't agree.
Put a sign up
Yeah.
at this point, no more.
Right. And I question their ability to even close that road. That's Overland Road. The old Pony Express Trail went right through that ranch. I'm not sure they can really close it without providing a decent alternative route.
Thanks, Carl.
So just to be clear, our motion is to accept the rest of it, but refuse closing Smith Creek, correct?
Right.
Okay.
The motion is to reject the recommendation to close fishing at Smith Creek Reservoir.
Okay, I second that.
Any further public comment? Okay, all those in favor say aye of the motion.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Next item is heritage tag vendors. Commission will review the Wildlife Heritage Committee's recommendations regarding heritage tag vendor proposals for 2025 and take action on the proposals. It's to auction vendors. Vendor proposal packets were received February 25th, April 15, 2024, deadline and reviewed by Heritage Committee at their May 3, 2024 meeting. The regulation amendment reflects the committee's recommendation and decision to propose these recommendations to the county game advisory boards and the commission at the June meeting. And it also adds a clause related to the return of tag fees associated with the heritage tags in the event one is returned to the department for medical, military, or death reasons.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
NBU Fallon apply for any of these?
Carl or Kiag again. No, we have marketed those a couple of times in the past, and the vendors don't get any money from it. That's not our main reason. We just feel that bigger organizations can do a better job and attract a higher clientele. Each time we've done it, we've come in kind of on the bottom end of the market.
Thank you, Carl. Any further public comment? Okay, we have a motion to approve commission, let's see, Regulation 24-05, Amendment Number 1, Heritage, 2025 Heritage Tag Vendors.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any further public comment? There being none, we have a motion to approve Commission Regulation 24-05. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration of possible action, Commission Regulation 24-13, 2024, 2025, and 2025 through 2026 upland game and fur bearer seasons and bag limits.
The Nevada Trapper Association reviewed the recommendations and in regards to season and bag limit of all the fur-bearing animals and support the department's recommendation. In regards to the bobcat pelt sealing dates, we are proposing to the commission a change in sealing dates for the towns of Las Vegas, Panaca, and Tonopah, where the department is recommending the 12th, 11th, 12th, and 13th of February. We're recommending 17th, 18th, and 19th, which doesn't sound like much, but it puts it just immediately before the fur sale, which is very beneficial to the trappers and really to everybody. And we have gone over this with Russ, who's in charge of these recommendations, and he has no problem with that move. It was, in the past, it's always been the week just prior to the fur sale, and for some reason, he wouldn't say it was a typo, but he put it in the wrong week. So we're recommending approval of the season for all fur bearer species, but a change in the bobcat pelt sealing dates for the town of Tonopah, Panaca, and Las Vegas till the 18th, 19th, and 20th of February 2025. And I think every county game board in the state's gone along with that recommendation. So,
Okay, any further public comment? There being none,
nothing.
do we have a motion for Commission Regulation 224-13 through 24-20, 24 through 25, and 25 through 26 upland game and fur bearer seasons and bag limits as provided, with the exception of changing the bobcat pelt sealing dates for the towns of Las Vegas, Panaca, and Tonopah to February 17th, 18th, and 19th. You have a motion to accept that?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll approve that, or second.
Any further public comment? There being none, call for the vote for the motion to accept Commission Regulation 24-13. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved? Not approved? Motion passed. Okay. There's no informational items, is there, Pam? Or was there?
Yes.
No,
Minutes?
it's hard to say 2025. That's science fiction. You know?
Consider future agenda items. Do we have any we need to keep track of, other than what Andrew has provided us here with this proposal
I'd
to?
recommend that we put on the agenda to discuss the proposed letter to be sent to the Wildlife Board of Commissioners in regards to a regulation to allow for the salvage of highway kill big game. Just so we can,
Get it going. So I will say, just to add to this letter, is that after doing more research, this has been proposed before. And so Pam, you said that you could track down where that's at, and if that is still just alive but stalled, then we can modify this letter to ask for their backing to push that.
and what year did you say?
2021, or 2021.
And I don't ever remember seeing that before the committee.
Yeah,
Can you remember,
I found
Jim?
the initial draft, and I've also found the assembly bill number with it, so.
Okay. We'll put that on the,
Yeah,
for next month's meeting
Okay.
as an action item in case we want to
as an action item, yeah.
approve it. And
Do you want to take a copy of that as a sample letter? That's the draft language that I found.
Is this a copy I can have?
6 months ago.
Okay. Any further public comment? Okay. There being none, call for adjournment in the meeting.
There is an August meeting, isn't there, Commission?
There is.
It must be. Probably in Las Vegas.
What about July?
I see our budget is, the budgets are going to be discussed on Friday, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. And I see where, I just got that,
I was
so it's
planning
not
on-
why it's not
I
in
was
the,
planning on going Saturday to the commission meeting, but then I remembered my granddaughter's getting married, so. Great-granddaughter.
I don't have it on my phone, so I'll look tomorrow when I get to the
Yeah,
office and
no-
I'll
no
email
biggie.
you.
okay. Sounds good,
Just everybody starts going on vacation.
yeah. Okay, thank you, guys. Leave it on, leave the computers on, Pam.